I'm pretty sure Maze's Termarr Johnson hit a ball at the Minority Baseball Prospects High School Showdown that we're still waiting to land. A lot to get into with the nation's third-ranked player in the class of 2022 and more from Lake Point Sports over the weekend. I'm Cory McCartney, joined by PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber as we take three cuts. Phil, welcome back in.
Thanks for having me, Cory. It was a really exciting weekend. I mean, there were guys all over the park. It was a lot to, head spinning at times, a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, let's start off with the uncommitted here. And there were some big-time performances from players that are looking for homes at the next level.
Yeah, I want to start off with Stephenson first baseman, left-handed hitter Kameron Taylor, 2021. The first day he walks into the park, and he's got a teammate in JoJo Jackson. That's a real physical guy, but Taylor looks just as physical as him and swings a big left-handed stick. I remember, I think it was his first or second AB of their game on Friday, just absolutely smokes a ball over the right field fence and really showed off all that power he's got. I think that's a really intriguing bat that's still on the market. And we get on to Stockbridge's Jamel Johnson, right-handed pitcher that was up to 86. Good feel for a breaking ball, good feel for the fastball too. A guy that's probably got more in the tank too, and he gets in the weight room and adds a little bit of weight. So there's some intriguing things there that we liked. And you get to Dutchtown. They had two uncommitted 22s that were really impressive on the mound. I want to start with right-handed pitcher, shortstop Christian Jackson, guy that just oozes athleticism. He's got a long, lanky frame, moves really well. He's going to add a lot of weight to it. He was 87, 89 with a real nice breaking ball. And you got 22 Mikhai Grant, who was up to 90 on the mound, 87, 88. That's two really nice looking uncommitted arms that Dutchtown's rolling with.
I mentioned Termarr Johnson at the beginning, and he was not alone in guys from the class of 2022 that I know you thought showed out in a big way.
Yeah, RJ Austin, just a dynamic player. Every time he steps into Lake Point, you got to watch where he's playing because he's a ton of fun. Playing out of Pace Academy, Vanderbilt commit, just doing it two ways. I saw him hit an opposite field home run, and it wasn't just some fluke stick my barrel out there. I was trying to pull the ball. He waited back on a pitch outside and got the barrel there, and it was got out in a hurry. A nice line drive homer to right field, and then unlucky on the mound on Saturday night. He's 87-90 through 6 innings, swing and miss curveball at 73-76. He actually, if I remember correctly, it was 6 1/3 no-hit innings against Locust Grove. And then unfortunately gave up a couple, I think it was one ball that was barreled that ended up being a double, but a couple, soft hit balls to the infield that ended up being singles, and unfortunately takes a 2-1 loss. But 6 1/3 no hit against a decent Locust Grove lineup. That was a really impressive performance from him. And then we mentioned Termarr. I mean, come on, there's not much more I can say about him that's already been said. He's just an electric athlete, performer, everything. Just a must-watch player.
Yeah, the power is real and it's spectacular. So finally, let's get into the underclassmen. I wrote about one of them, Trinity Christian's Ty Peete, which you can find at lakepointsports.com. Tell me your impressions of the Lions sophomore, as well as some other names that grabbed your attention.
Yeah, Peete, it's the first time seeing him since the Future Games in August. And definitely looks like he's grown a couple more inches, added some weight. We got to see him on the mound, which is definitely one of the more intriguing things. Up to 91 with he just went fastball changeup. Future games we saw a curveball, no changeup. This time he was great feel for the changeup. It was fading, sinking. He was keeping it low in the zone, swinging misses, and was just all over the zone with the fastball, kind of controlling the batters he was facing with it. And then at the plate, we saw that just a beautiful, smooth left-handed swing, and you could just tell that there's so much power in there. Now it's just kind of he was hitting leadoff. I think it's just getting comfortable up there now. Just and that comes with reps, but he's looking good. And then Antonio Anderson, who announced his presence in a big way on Friday night with a huge homer for Tri-Cities. Georgia Tech commit. The moment it came off the barrel, he knew it was gone. I think he walked 4 or 5 steps out of the box, flipped the bat, then took off on a nice, saunter around the bases like a ho-hum. Just another day at the park for Antonio Anderson. Yeah, he's one of the top shortstops in the state for a reason. And then we also saw him on the mound up to 87 with a nice looking slider. So, maybe there's some two-way stuff in there. And then finally, Forest Park's Montrell Christian, who is kind of a larger than life type character, 6'4", 200-pound freshman. Just absolutely massive. When he walks in the park, you're like, your eyes just go straight to those guys. And you're like, who's that? And then you find out he's a freshman, and you're like, okay, what, something's going on here. Like, that's pretty special looking. And he was up to 87. Was throwing a nice tight slider in there. But man, there's so much upside in that frame, and he's going to be a guy that's going to get plenty of looks this spring and moving forward into the summer.
Well, he is Phil Kerber. Follow him on Twitter at Phil Kerber PBR, and give PBR Georgia a follow while you're at it. Phil, thanks, and enjoy the baseball week.
Thanks for having me.